I can hear myself back now. This is so much fun. Oh my gosh, you guys, welcome to the Rangefinder Lounge. If you haven't been in here yet today, my name is Mary Vance, and the class you're getting ready to watch is Does Your Business Need a Mom? Before I get really dive in and started, 20 minutes is gonna go by just like that, and this is a whole lot of information. I'm actually gonna talk pretty fast today just for that reason. As I said, my name was Mary Vance. I am a lifestyle senior photographer and videographer. I'm based in Seattle, Washington. I'm also what you call an integrator, which is like a COO or Chief Operating Officer for other creative businesses, specifically photographers. I run Elena S. Blair's entire education website. You might be like, an integrator? What is that? I have never heard that term before in my life. Basically, I am like a fantastic ghostwriter, right? When you have a fantastic ghostwriter that comes in and they can just speak in your voice and do things behind the scenes, right? And you never know that they were there. I'm like that with all of the business stuff, right? With all of the little boring things like teachable, like education platforms and is this coupon code working correctly, right? And stuff like that. So if I'm doing my job, running everything behind the scenes effectively, then you never even know that I'm there because stuff just runs so smoothly on the outside and on the front face that boom, you won't even know that I'm there. That's what an integrator is, and I'm gonna talk to you guys with my integrator hat on a little bit today. So as I said, I'm Mary Vance, photographer, I'm an integrator, I'm also a business mom, and one of my other previous hats, like I said, I've worn a whole lot of hats, and I'm kind of qualifying this so I can let you guys know why you should be listening to this advice that I'm gonna give you today about outsourcing. That's really what we're gonna be talking about. For, I don't know, probably a decade or more, I have worked with nonprofit businesses. Specifically, I sit on nonprofit board of directors, which means that I run multi-million-dollar operating budgets for nonprofits. There's a lot of ins and outs of marketing and bringing these nonprofits right up to the level that they have to compete so that they can get their messages out there. I do that same thing for other businesses, and I want to help you guys do some of these same things for yourselves. I want to help you become your own business mom. All right, so let's think about this. If you need a mom, if you read the title over there on that billboard and you were like, hey, does your business need a mom? Yes, ma'am, that sounds exactly like me. If that title instantly resonated with you, then I'm gonna tell you, if you felt that like, oh yeah, it is time for you to outsource something in your business. And I'm not sure exactly what that is, but we're gonna talk about it. So what do you think of when you think about the word mom, right? Mom is the person who keeps everything going in the house, right? Mom is the one who knows that we don't have any milk in the refrigerator. Mom is the one who books the doctor's appointments. Mom is the one who can find the keys. Mom essentially takes all of the space that we need, or she has all the mental capacity to hold all of these things in the mental space for the day-to-day workings of their home. Now, wouldn't you love to have somebody like that who is holding all the things, like the little ins and outs, the mental space in your own business? It would be like, I know, I see you nodding, you're like, heck yeah, I would, right? It would be like you'd had a fairy godmother just come into your house, right? She's gonna come in, she's gonna wave her wand and be like, poof. And now you can go and do what you were meant to do, which is be an artist, right? You can create, you can be a photographer, you can do these sorts of things that actually light you up and bring you passion. You can be free to be the visionary of your own brand and of your own company rather than feeling like you're chasing, right, something that's far in the distance and you're always a couple of feet behind. So I hear this all the time from photographers. They always say, I just want to take photos. But we all know that running a successful business requires a lot more than that. You didn't sign up to be a bookkeeper and a social media expert, right? You didn't sign up to learn about SEO and building websites or marketing or systems and integration, right? I don't know about you guys, but every single time I have to integrate or add a new system to my business, like, what is a CRM? I don't even know. Why do I need it? No clue. But then all of a sudden, I've got all of this stuff I've got bogged down in, that still doesn't keep me in my zone of genius, which is creating and making photographs. But if you're like a lot of people that I talk to, you're so busy trying to put on all of those other hats that you are overwhelmed and frozen. And what we call that is analysis paralysis, right? In front of you, laid out, you see all of these different tracks, and all of them look good, and all of them are demanding your attention all at the same time, and you're stuck without being able to move forward. There are so many options out in front of you. You have no idea which road should I be taking. Whose advice should I be taking about marketing this week? Which algorithm am I going to pay attention to this week, now, or today, right? Analysis paralysis keeps you frozen and stuck, and it keeps your business from growing. Okay, so let's dive in. Are you, in your business, are you experiencing a plateau in your profit? Meaning like when you started off, things are kind of going pretty good, and then all of a sudden flatline, and I can't seem to grow past where I was before. Are you approaching burnout? Burnout looks different for everyone. Burnout for me looks like having no joy when I go to a session. When I have to actually get the keys, put the camera bag in the back of the car, in my head, my eyes just, oh gosh, it's another day. Having no joy in my work and in what I do, that's a sign that I'm approaching burnout and that I need to check myself. Okay, I need to check myself and say, what's wrong with this picture that I'm not excited, through the roof excited, to go and do what I love to do and to create the art that I love to create. Are you procrastinating? Procrastination of everyday tasks is another sign that you need help, okay? Because if you think about it, a lot of those little tasks that we're procrastinating on, if we actually sat down to do them, there may be like a 10-minute task or a 15-minute task, right? We're not talking about weeks-long worth of builds. But if you have these things that are just not your passion or not your joy, and you just keep like, oh, I'll put it off a few more days, specifically when it comes to marketing your business. Because if you're procrastinating on marketing your business today, you will not have a business tomorrow. Procrastination is another sign that you need to outsource. And finally, are you having FOMO, or fear of missing out? And I specifically think about FOMO when it comes to my children and to my family, right? If I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I've got to do all of this stuff at my laptop, where I'd rather be watching a movie with my kids, hanging out, doing something like that, if I'm feeling like I'm missing their life, that is never the kind of business that I wanted to build in the first place. I went into business for myself for freedom. I went into business for myself so that I could set my own hours. And I definitely did not go into business for myself so that I could miss my children's childhood, right? If all of these things applied to you, and I saw some of you sitting there like, oh, yes, right? So you're feeling it. These are the signs that you should be outsourcing. So the question that I get asked a lot is, okay, like, what's the best time to outsource? How will I know in my business, other than the fact that you just sat here and went, yes, 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 and nodded to all of these things? How will I know that it's actually the right time? Ideally, and this is like, whew, pie in the sky, this would be the most perfect situation, you should be outsourcing these tasks before you get overwhelmed, before you're having the migraines, before you're waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning with that, oh crap, I forgot to post a sneak peek, right? Before you think about those things. And what I like to call this is kind of, this is an attraction, or this is a moment to plan for success, right? What you put out there into the world, what you plan for. If you buy let's say a storage unit, right? Go buy a storage unit and you're like, I just have this one couch that doesn't fit in my house, and I need to put this one couch in my storage unit. What happens over the course of the next year? You fill that storage unit up, don't you, right? Anytime you make space for something, it will be filled. Stick a bowl on your kitchen counter, especially if you have children, just an empty bowl. Just sit it on the counter and then come back to it in a week and see what's happened in a week. We're gonna have keys, granola bars, glasses, right? Like probably some gym socks thrown in there, or if you're in my house, we'll have ballet tights that have been just stripped off and unceremoniously discarded, right? It's going to fill up. The same thing is true within your business. What you plan for, what you make space for in terms of growth, it's going to happen for you, right? Where there is space to grow, you will grow. We expand to fit the containers that we're in. And you don't have to be turning a huge profit in order to do this, because that's the next argument or concern that I always get. Well, Mary, I'm not making 6 figures a year right now. But if you're planning for growth, you could be. So outsourcing something now, right, can give you the potential to make that 6 figures in the future. Think about it. Think about if tomorrow that fairy godmother came and just said, I have just granted you 10 extra clients. And I saw a couple of worried looks, and you were like, whoa, how would I handle 10 extra clients? For some people that would be a dream, right? And that's awesome. That would be like, oh, that's the coolest thing ever. Maybe that's what your capacity is. What if they gave you 100 new clients? Then maybe you're saying, oh, that would be really overwhelming, right? And that would be something different. If making the space now frees you up to be able to take those 100 clients in the future, do you see how instead of saying, I can't afford to pay someone now, really what you should be saying is, I can't afford not to pay someone now to do this. I can't afford to lose my future growth. And so the next question is, what can I outsource? And I don't know why, as photographers and as solopreneurs, but we always want to ask permission, right? What is this okay? Is it okay if I outsource this? And I'm going to tell you, there is only one thing and one thing only that you cannot outsource, and that's yourself. You are the CEO of your business, of your company. You are the face of your brand. You are who your client's connected to, right? Not your composition, not your website, you. You are the face and the visionary behind your brand. And this is, kind of the little catch-22 on that. Nobody's coming to rescue you from it. If you have a strong brand, though, and a clear message, if you know where you want to go, everything else in your business is literally outsourceable. Now, I know sometimes you want to be precious about some of these things and kind of hold on tight to them, right? So especially when it comes to our editing or, or our Instagram captions. You're like, no, I'm the only one that can really do like this. Again, if you have a strong brand message, your systems will be able to be repeated. So, again, everybody's nodding heads, taking the notes, right? We understand that you're on board with this and this sounds really good to you. And so the next question is always, where do I start? And my answer with that, again, you guys, I'm an integrator. I work in spreadsheets and things like that for a living. We're going to make a list, all right? We're going to make a list, and if you've got pen and paper, pull up your phone, grab a note, something open right now. And I want you to start writing down everything that you hate to do in your business. For me, blogging is the top of that stinking list. Hate it. Do I have to? Do I do quarterlies? Do I do books? Do I hate face-to-camera stories on Instagram? Do I hate tagging photos, keywords for SEO? Let's see, what else? Do I hate writing contracts? Do I hate every time I have to Add a new update to Adobe. Oh my gosh, how many? How many really? Every day. Every day, Lightroom gets a new version. And some of you guys are going so frantically. I am so glad you're sitting here right now. So many things. These are not the things that we signed on for necessarily when we decided to become a photographer, right? The next thing that I want you guys to do is prioritize that list. For many of you, the first thing that you wrote down is probably what your first priority is going to be. That was the thing that when I said, what do you hate to do in your business the most? Boom, it popped right into your head. You saw it very clearly. If my fairy godmother could make this task go away, I want her to. And this is the item that you need to hire out for first. If you loathe the task, you're going to put it off. And again, as we said, if you're not doing the things that you need to do for your business today, you will not have that business tomorrow, or 6 months down the road, or a year from now. So here's a very exhaustive list of things that we can outsource. And some of these things you guys might have been, I didn't realize I could actually outsource this. You can outsource social media management. I do. My manager is fantastic. Her name is Steph. You can outsource your accounting and your bookkeeping. Usually creatives don't love math, right? You're like, guilty. Don't love math, okay? Your contracts are actually your contracts. You can outsource those too, which is like lawyer, legal help. In fact, you probably should outsource those things. You can outsource your editing. There are fabulous editors who are present at this show right now. And do you know why they are editors? Because that is their zone of genius. Just like photography is your zone of genius. Like, let's take it to the genius bar. Take it to the place where they know what's the best thing to do. You can outsource album design, content, copywriting, personal tasks. That's one that we almost always feel like we have to get permission for. Being able to outsource a personal task is like, oh, could I really ask somebody to go pick up my dry cleaning? If going to pick up your dry cleaning means that you get to take an extra session, heck yeah, you can ask somebody to go pick up your dry cleaning or to get your coffee. You can outsource studio management as well. And the end results, right, once you do this, once you start working with someone in your business that you can trust, that you can bring on and onboard and hand these things off to the next person, whoop, your end result is freedom. I will say that again. Your end result is freedom. Freedom to get back to doing exactly what it is that you love. And for me, it's freedom to go back to spending time with my family. Now, I have, as I said, so much information on this, and I have 60, 90 seconds left to tell it to you. I will be available for questions. I also would love to help you out by giving you this little quiz that we made about what type of help, if you were kind of clueless, if you were like, this thing that I said I really don't want to do, I'm not exactly sure what type of person I should be putting into the search bar of LinkedIn or asking about in my community group or something like that, this quiz should help you. It's pretty quick. It's about 10 questions, and it will talk to you about which types of help that you can hire out for, and it'll give you a nice description of what all of those jobs do, all right? So that's my time, and thank you very much.